Welcome to Rhythm of Grace, where we live one moment, step, and day at a time, learning what it is to establish biblical rhythms in our lives. My name is Michelle, and I'm glad you're here. While you're here, please hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you can be made aware of new content when it comes on my channel. Today is episode 44 of the R1017 study. Now, before we get into this short devotional, I have a word. Today's word is a hard one, but it's one we must consider as we walk through life with people. And it's this: know when to walk away. In trying to help people, we tend to hang on when we should be letting go. So that's where we're going today. We are in Matthew chapter 7, verse 6, and it says, "Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces." So here in this verse, Jesus is using a couple things. He says dogs, pearls, and pigs. And I'm going to break this down. All right. So in our culture, dogs are a man's best friend. I love dogs. I've had dogs. They're fluffy. They're so friendly. But in this culture, where in the context of what this is written, dogs are not regarded as friendly. They're often seen as unclean and hostile, representing those who reject spiritual truths. Next is the swine, the pigs. Those are considered unclean, especially to Jewish people. Pigs were the bottom of the barrel. They didn't eat pork. They didn't keep pigs. So it was incredibly unclean. And it symbolizes those who do not appreciate or understand valuable teachings. And the last one is pearls. They represent precious spiritual insights or truths that should be shared wisely. Now, that's a key. The gospel is meant to go to all nations, but there is wisdom that we are to apply to sharing the gospel. And the reality is, there are some people that could be in your family, your workplace, that are never going to accept the gospel, that they're never going to value the truths that you carry. And there is something negative about continuing to push that wisdom and provide that wisdom to somebody that is not receptive and in fact can become hostile toward you. And does God require us to stay in a situation where we're sharing the gospel and sharing wisdom and trying to disciple somebody that's becoming hostile towards us? I am going to lean to no. And this is why. If you read Matthew 10:14, Jesus gives some very specific directions. I'm going to put it up here. Matthew 10:14 says, "If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, leave that home or town and shake the dust off your feet." Here in this verse, Jesus is not saying stay and plead your case. Jesus isn't saying stay and be physically abused. Jesus is not saying stay and be verbally abused. No, Jesus simply says, if they will not welcome you or listen to your words, leave that home or town and shake the dust off your feet. So Jesus is giving permission here that if their message isn't received, that they can move on. Some of us have people in our lives that we have been reaching out to and pouring into that are not receiving. They have heard and heard and heard, and they have become hostile. Maybe they've started ignoring you. Maybe they have started acting negatively to you. Maybe they aren't being honest with you, and out of a heart to try to help and reach this person, and we just continue to pour and pour and pour, and there is no change there. This is the thing. The Holy Spirit has the ability to make a change on a heart. We do not. And we can't force somebody to want wisdom. We cannot force somebody to say that they want understanding. I know in my family, we had a somewhat of a similar situation. There was somebody that said that they wanted help. They were in another state and they had a history of panhandling and just were very close to homelessness. So the person was like, "Hey, I want to change. I want help. Can you teach me how to gain stability?" And my husband and I were like, "That's great. Of course. You can come live with us and we will help you get on your feet and get stabilized." So this person moved in with us with all of the said intention of wanting wisdom, of wanting help. But it turned out this person only wanted to freeload, because when the rubber met the road with the things that we required, like, hey, let's get you a job, hey, let's help you do something online, it was always met with this resistance to wisdom, resistance to change. And this person that said, "Hey, I love your kids and I'm gonna contact you and all this and stay involved," turned tail and left. And they pretty much took all of the wisdom my husband and I shared biblically, business wise, and just basically trampled it under their feet. And we were just left with just a lot of wasted time and energy on somebody that did not want help. Not everybody in your life you can help. Not everybody in your life can you pour wisdom into. And there's a lot of people that are going to see the wisdom you carry through the gospel, through your life experience. They're not going to value it. They're not going to appreciate it. They're not going to treat it with what it's worth. We need to be investing into people that value what we bring. And I'm not saying this is not about evangelism, but this is about having wisdom to see, when it's appropriate to keep helping somebody, keep discipling somebody, and when it's okay to pull back and let that person walk away. So that is the word I have today on Rhythm of Grace. That's what I've got. So until next time, we live by the rhythm of grace, one surrendered minute, hour, and day at a time. Everybody, be blessed.